Welcome back, friends and family of the internet and fellow watchers on the wall. I have a very interesting video for you today. Everything from zombie cats to why, if you were ill, you should be getting a cat right now. So, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead, friends and family. And I just want to say hello. My name is Samantha. Please hit the like button, drop over in comments, tell me who you are and where you're watching from. Okay, so let's start with this. I noticed last night. Right. I got in bed. You guys know my husband has a brain aneurysm. We're fixing to be having surgery. But a lot of you don't know that I've been really sick lately. I think I'm sharing whatever my husband keeps getting. Right. And I'm laying in bed and I'm pretty miserable. And our adopted kitten, who we went to a local shelter and we got her and we brought her home and she was just a little bitty thing, like 6 weeks old. She comes bouncing in there with all that energy, right? Her name is Amazon. She climbs in bed right up against my chest and she begins this rhythmic purring. And I snuggled down in the bed immediately. I began to relax. My husband begins to snore. And I'm thinking to myself, golly, I've been sleeping so well since we got this kitten. There's actually a scientific reason for that. So do not go anywhere because I want to share that knowledge with you. But let me show you something that is happening in more places than California. It is called the zombie cats. Okay, so these feral cats are out of control. And if you know anything about a cat population, you know that, say, in an apocalyptic situation, the world is ending, right? And all of a sudden, people have been diminished in number and cats are technically taking over. They will be your greatest threat to food because of their ability to hunt. Yes, even your house cat. And I've heard a lot of survivalists say the first thing you'll need to do is reduce the cat population because, much like rats, they populate extremely fast. I mean, like 10 to 1 compared to dogs. Seriously, I'm being very serious. So I found this article and this video we're fixing to watch very interesting because there is a cat invasion in this neighborhood and it's doing something that is putting the lives of the residents at danger. And that is drawing coyotes out of the desert, out of the hills, out of the mountains, right there into people's backyard. So let's get into this and let's really see what's happening. We're even going to talk about, because I am an animal lover, obviously. I run a homestead, right? And all of my animals were basically taken from people that did not want them and from shelters. So I've given a great life to 3 dogs and a cat that would, God only knows what would have happened to them had they ended up with other owners. And it does make me concerned. But one thing I'm learning doing this research, guys, is that catch, spay or neuter, and release that they like to do with feral cats is not always the best option. And with no further chit chat from me, let's hear what's going on with the zombie cats.
For one Inglewood neighborhood.
The neighbors are fed up now. The cats are attracting coyotes, and that's not good. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stalwart spoke to neighbors who expressed their frustrations.
You call it a cat infestation?
I would call it a cat, like some type of zombie thing that's going on.
Dennis Gary says when night falls in his Los Angeles neighborhood, it's like a stray cat zombie apocalypse. Dennis says he's witnessed upwards of 100 cats prowling the neighborhood.
Not scared of people that's walking around. Something is wrong.
We saw animal services in the area knocking on doors, investigating the problem. A resident fed up with cats invading the community sent Eyewitness News pictures of the kitties out and about. Dennis says sometimes late at night, it's as if the cats literally knock on his door.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm hearing scratching. I'm wondering, what is this? So I open the door and the cats just scatter like roaches.
Okay, so I'm giving it a second to catch up, but I would say that is kind of freaky because if you have a cat, right, you know their ability to scratch and make noises that are unexpected. But did you guys see how many cats that is? And these are the cats willing to be out in the open. These aren't the ones in the shadows. This is bad.
It's a nuisance because they run around through the neighborhood and behind your house and everything.
Residents complain someone in the neighborhood has been overfeeding the cats, attracting them to the area. We talked to this person, wanted her identity shielded. She says over the last several months, the cats have multiplied to the degree she can't even enjoy a cool night on her porch.
They come out in droves, and it's awful. It's really awful. We can't enjoy our retirement.
I agree with her. You cannot, because let me tell you something about a feral cat. Now, all of you cat lovers are going to get upset, but see, I worked at an animal shelter, a no-kill animal shelter, for 18 months. And guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I watched a 7-pound female cat, feral cat, 42 puncture wounds. Let me repeat that. 42 puncture wounds. This young girl had on the proper gloves. She reaches in, she gets the cat twisted around, latched. Well, she had on the proper gloves up to the elbow. And when it realized that it couldn't do much damage here, it like folded itself backwards and went for the under part of her arm. Well, then she let go and started screaming because now it began to pierce. And a cat bite can contain something called cause something called cat scratch fever. So this is not a joke. This is really, really serious. These type of cats leave an odor. Okay, when you get this many cats. And I would say whoever is feeding them should be in trouble because the problem is they're attracting coyotes into the community. Then I found this. I thought you guys might find this interesting. It says cats in Cypress College being killed. Questions arise and $1,000 reward announced for more information. This is a school in California. So there must be a really serious problem with feral cats in California. I want to know if you live in Cali, is this true? Because guys, I'm seeing it over and over again. It says community cats in Cypress College are being killed, claims a website alleging set up for the well-being of the felines of the California academic space. The site also offers $1,000 reward for information leading up to the arrest and prosecution of employees that work at Cypress College that might be hurting and harming these animals. Now, something I noticed when I went to this site that is talking about this, I wonder if it'll pull it up real fast. The website. Anyway, they also are having a serious coyote problem on the college. Why? Why do you get coyotes when you have feral cats? Because they eat them, friends and family of the internet. A coyote is basically another version of dog, right? Genetically. So I want to share this with you. We talk a lot about frequency on this channel. We talk about what harp is doing, angels don't play this type of harp. I just proved to you guys about how your moods, your health, your mental well-being, and your physical well-being may be under attack by the technology and the use of harp. Did you know that your cat's purr is literally healing you? The frequency that repairs bones comes from a cat's purr. Did you know that your cat's gentle purr isn't just a sign of happiness, but it may be healing you? Scientists have discovered that the frequencies produced by a cat's purr can trigger remarkable healing processes, both in the cat and in the human. From stress relief to bone repair, your cat's purr is a natural phenomenon with real health benefits. The science behind the purr. Okay, so it just goes on to say that most domestic cats purr at a frequency between 20 and 50 hertz. All right, that is an extremely low frequency, an ELF. If you remember from my video yesterday, we were talking about how HARP uses ELFs and is constantly bombarding us with this very low frequency which is actually lower than this 20 to 50 hertz, and it causes us depression. So your cat's purring at a 20 to 50 hertz is a range that matches the therapeutic vibrations used in medical treatments for tissue healing and bone growth. Wow. Isn't God good? That's what I was trying to tell you guys. Yes, when we're learning about the fact that they have weapons in the military that are nicknamed the voice of God because they can beam sound waves into your head that you can't ignore. When we talk about MK Ultra and the GATE program, and we know that our government has been controlling people for so long, you just have to give the glory to God that he created something as amazing as a domesticated cat, folks. Research has shown that 20 to 50 hertz range of a cat's purr aligns precisely with electromagnetic vibrations used in therapies to stimulate bone growth and repair. Veterinarian studies have demonstrated that such frequencies can accelerate healing in both animals and people, promote faster recovery from fractures and injuries. And then a study published in the National Institute of Health, these vibrations encourage cellular regeneration and boost the body's natural ability to mend itself. The healing frequencies found in a cat's purr are not just theoretical, they're actively used in modern medicine. FDA-approved medical devices employ low-frequency vibration therapy, remarkably similar to a cat's purr, to aid in bone healing and treat osteoporosis. So if you're older and you're starting to have problems with your joints or anything like that, if you're dealing with loneliness or depression, maybe a cat. I'm just saying, folks, maybe a cat. Look at this, accelerating bone healing. You can't argue with the science, right? Didn't we hear that all the way from 2000 to 2024 about COVID? Well, let's not argue with real science that repeatedly proves that frequencies do most definitely hurt and heal our bodies. So it talks about accelerated bone regeneration and recovery after fractures because it will stimulate bone cells and enhance the healing process. Reducing inflammation. Emerging research suggests that low frequency, wow, I sometimes get so frustrated. That just totally knocked me off my fun's way. Anyway, let's go to the next article. Anyway, it's just really, really awesome. This one, look how cute this cat is with his little eye. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just want it. I just want this cat. By the way, YouTube does not pay me because my information is harmful. Seriously? How many of you are emotionally, psychologically, or religiously harmed by me sharing science? Yeah, I didn't think so. If you'd like to buy me a coffee or cover a gallon of gas for all the frequent trips for my husband's health issues, please look in the top of comments. If you'll give me your email address, I'll invite you to the Zooms when we do them, and I'll give you the monthly newsletter. So it's a trade. The healing power of cat purring, science, frequency, and feline therapy. A cat's purr isn't just cute. Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God. His face is cute. It isn't just cute, it's healing. Have you ever noticed how soothing a cat's purr is when you feel stressed or unwell? Turns out it's not just in your head. And I can vouch for that. I'm going to tell you something else that you won't find in these articles. I firmly believe that domesticated animals, dogs and cats especially, have an ability to see what you and I cannot. I'm just being very honest. I think that because they are innocent and they are created by our Lord to be under our dominion, I feel like that they are given an ability to see into the spiritual world, or at least they can pick up on the disturbance in the spiritual world when it is, affecting the physical world and it's manifesting here where you and I are. I also very much believe that since they can sense these things, they can warn you. And up until we were getting the cat, I wasn't having outright nightmares, but I was having very in-depth, disturbing dreams. Since she's been sleeping with me on a regular basis at night, I don't get those dreams. But if I lie down for an early afternoon nap, if I don't feel well or any reason, just because I want to and I can, those dreams return if she isn't in the bed. And I believe it's because while she's purring, my body is in a different place. You know, do you, I'm going to do me. I say that all the time. Purring is a rhythmic sound cats produce by vibrating or activating the voice box muscles, causing a vibration during both inhalation and exhalation. The sound falls within the frequency range of 20 to 150 hertz, with the most healing centered between 25 and 50 hertz. These frequencies just happen to match those in vibration therapy for bone growth, fracture repair, muscle and tendon healing, pain relief, and inflammation reduction. So when they curl up against you and they're purring, it is a biologically therapeutic wavelength going from the cat to you and back. What? How amazing. I mean, you know, I tell you guys this all the time. For everything that this world has done, for everything that fallen angel technology and man has done to destroy what God has given us, to destroy your health and mine and my husband's, our mental health, our finances, God has already figured that out. The answers are there. They're always right in front of us. I know a lot of people are like, well, you should try this, but that costs a lot of money, or I have to order something. I'm a firm believer that if I'm where the Lord has placed me, everything that I need for what the Lord has for me is already in my hands. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that. I have been living that for the past 5 years. Instead of wanting what I don't have, instead of focusing what is not there, I look at what I have and I'm like, okay, so this is what God has given me. I'm going to write a book. This is what God has given me. I'm going to learn to do videos on Zoom so I'm not holding up an iPad. So I'm just using what I have. I don't have the ability to spend a bunch of money. I don't have a credit card. I don't want to be in debt. My husband has a brain aneurysm at 46. Why would I want to go in debt? You see what I'm saying? So I use what I have, and then he blesses that and he multiplies what I have, and then I can upgrade as I go. Does that make sense? I really do hope it does. By the way, my friend and I published a book, Growing Under a Poison Sky. This book will help you clean the air, the water, and the soil. It'll also help you clean your body. It'll explain to you why when you're eating meat from Walmart, you don't feel good. It really will. It'll tell you why the Dust Bowl is going to happen again. And it won't cost you a lot of money. Not for the book or any of the things I tell you to do in this book. Why? Because I do not believe that you've got to go spend a bunch of money to fix a problem. I am a firm believer that everything you need, you already have it. It's just that somebody, a commercial or a person on YouTube or your neighbor or even your parents said, oh, you should go get this. That's not always an option. And what if it wasn't an option? Could you survive without shopping? That's what I tell people. Like, we've got to find people who are able to think outside the box, to look at what you have right that moment to fix the problem. Those people can survive. They will survive. There's this thing, I love to say it. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. What you're looking at is where you're going. What you're listening to is who you are becoming. So I pray some of you will listen and look at this. I love you guys so much. Just to let you know, the funeral wake memorial for Stephen's stepmother went really well today. You know, that part of our life is now closed. He lost his mother at 5. His dad died in April. And now the woman that, was there for the majority of his life, she's gone too. And I told him, I said, we are hitting that age where we are becoming the people that people call in the family. The younger generation calls us because the older generation has disappeared. And it's a weird feeling. to be considered the adult in the room. Some of you understand what I'm saying. So thank you to the ones that have been donating to Stephen's Gifts and Go. By the way, that is a 2-year-old Gifts and Go. We have not raised $14,000 for his medical bills, but that has been used for a food ministry. It was just easier to use what I already had because I don't like starting more things. And just thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. YouTube won't pay me, but you guys are the reason I'm able to still do what the Lord has called me to do. So I love you guys. Be blessed this Sunday. Tuesday, Roseland, we have a town hall about the Smitty's explosion. That is at 6 o'clock. So somebody asked me, when will we do another Zoom for our community, which you can become a part of, donate whatever the Lord told you at the top of comments, give me your email. That will probably come mid-September, but I'm waiting until tomorrow because I need to find out when my husband's going to have surgery. Everything else we built around that. Be blessed.